There's nothing more festive than a glass of wine shared with family and friends during the holiday season, but choosing the right wine can be intimidating. So here to help is Chris Benziger. He comes from a family with more than 40 years of Sonoma winemaking experience, so he knows a thing or two about choosing wines for any occasion. So Chris, thanks for being here. When it comes to choosing wine for the holidays, whether it's to serve or as a hostess gift, some people don't know where to even start. So what are some of your tips to make it easy?
Sure thing. Hi, Emily. How you doing? First of all, you've already made the right choice by bringing wine to a party, all right? Of all the hostess gifts you can bring, wine is number one because guess what? Everybody loves wine, right? And they're going to use it. So wine is great. And it could be, something inexpensive from your local grocery store, or maybe you went out and hunted some special vintage for that wine savvy person. The real trick is to find a wine that is a big crowd pleaser, everyone's going to love, but that's not going to break your pocketbook. And that's kind of why I created these tribute wines is like the Tribute Cabernet. It's been written up multiple times as it tastes like a $50 bottle of wine, yet it's only going to set you back $15. And that's what you want to bring to a party, a wine that's everyone's going to love, they're going to celebrate. It's not going to cost too much money. You're definitely going to get invited back next year.
I love to give wine as presents. I think a great way to gift wine is if you hand it over and then the wine has maybe a little bit of story, how you found it or why you chose it, or something something unique about the winemaker. However, I have been gifted wine a lot, and I seem to get wines that maybe aren't my taste a lot of times. A lot of times they're very sweet. Like I might get Moscato, or I might get things that are really, really sweet. So how do we make sure that when we do bring wine to parties, it's going to be a crowd pleaser and everybody's going to like it?
So, all right. So I guess that's one is I'm always of the mind that I bring wines that I like. Okay. And so if I like sparkling wines, I'm going to bring a sparkling wine because you're going to be the best presenter of those wines. You say, oh, look, I found this great sparkling wine, or even a Moscato. I found this great Moscato. Now, not everyone's going to love that, but because you like it, you're going to have that right personality to kind of sell it to your friends and stuff like that. So go with that level of confidence in yourself, first of all. And I always, when I go to a party, I always bring a red and a white, because you never really know. Those are the two big things. White wine for that more casual drinking, then red if for food or cocktailing. And there's the other big one. If it's just a cocktail party, go for a lighter red wine like a Pinot Noir. But if you're having food, then I'd go a little bit bigger like a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Bringing 2 bottles of wine is a great tip. Something for the casual drinker, and then something maybe for somebody whose palate is a little more sophisticated.
And you also want some for you too, right? Because you start pouring that wine off, next thing you know, 1 bottle, it's gone, and you're like, God, I wish I brought 2.
All right, what are your tips for food pairings and wine?
Okay, so I'm big on the varietal, okay? So we do 4 varietals with Tribute, right? And like the Sauvignon Blanc, it's light, it's clean, it's crisp. That goes with so much food. It's the most versatile white wine out there. If you're having cheese, this is perfect. It's a great aperitif. If you're having any kind of seafood, oysters, Sauvignon Blanc and oysters, they love each other. And then Asian cuisine, this is perfect with Asian cuisine, or you can just have it on the old patio. It's a marvelous wine. Then you walk into Chardonnay. Chardonnay is a little bit more winemaking. It's creamy. You want to pair those with like your creamier pasta dishes like an Alfredo or chicken. Chardonnay and roast chicken or any kind of chicken dish, Chardonnay is the perfect match. Then you go to Pinot Noirs. Pinot Noirs have that lighter tannin structure. They're great for just cocktailing. If you're sitting back, nice little Pinot Noir is lovely. But pizza, great. Cheese, just like Sauvignon Blanc, on the white side, Pinot Noir is that perfect cheese wine. But then also a pork tenderloin, Pacific salmon, those two go so well with Pinot Noir. And then you're left with the king, Cabernet, right? Your steaks, your chops. But my favorite time for Cabernet is not even, it's after the dinner. It's when you're all sitting back at the end. We used to call it Cabernet Confessions in my family. You're around with family and friends telling the really good stories.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I don't think you can go wrong with Pinot Noir. I think it's just
I'm a pretty passionate Pinot drinker myself.
It's delicious.
We call it the Heartbreak Grape.
Oh, yes, yes, because it's very finicky. Okay, but your family, you make tribute wines. So tell me about these tribute wines. How did these come to be? What was the inspiration behind them?
Yeah. So tribute really is all about family, Emily. It's my family's legacy in a way. My family's been into wine for over a century. My grandfather and father had an importing company back on the East Coast. I'm the youngest of 7 kids. I got 4 other brothers, 2 sisters. I got 19 nieces and nephews. Talk about a party. It was so great. I moved with my family from New York City. We're talking high rises, subways, all the way out to the wild bucolic hillsides of Sonoma, California back in 1979. And it was just us, my family. We built the winery with our own hands, planted the grapes. It was this amazing adventure. But unfortunately, time marches on, right? My parents have passed away. I lost a brother. I'm the last one in my generation that's still every day in the wine business, but I have all my nieces and nephews coming in. I want to do something to celebrate that legacy, all those great times I had with my family. So I came up with this idea of a tribute to the family, and it's something I can pass off to that next generation.
I absolutely love it. See, this is a great story. We can bring tribute wine to any one of our gatherings this year and have a great story when we pass off that wine, and people will fall in love with it just because of that.
Exactly, and tribute can transcend. This may be a tribute to my family, but you can give to someone and say, hey, thank you so much for throwing the party, or congratulations, it's Friday, or, anything else. We want to celebrate the big and little things in everyone's life. We don't do that enough, I think. We need to celebrate the good things.
I agree. Where can we find tribute wines?
So the easiest way to do it is just go to our website, tributewine.com. We have this little locator. You punch in your zip code, boop, 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 and then it'll pop out a store near you, or maybe even a restaurant. And then also on the website, too, we have great food and wine pairings like we talked about. It's a great place to go. And then, a lot of funny stories, too.
Okay, I love it. I can't wait to try it. Chris, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the wine tips.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day.